Hey, it's Michael Kosta. This is the Tennis Anyone podcast. It is Tuesday, August 6th. I'm adjusting my microphone right now. I'm at the office at The Daily Show. I am wearing a coat and tie right now. I have limited time this week, but had to talk to my Tennis Anyone people. We can't just talk about Kamala Harris's VP pick and J.D. Vance. Tim Walz is the VP pick, the governor of Minnesota. Isn't it crazy how high up people are? The governor of Minnesota, and I have no idea who that person is. But yeah, I mean, there was, I am pretty critical of Olympic tennis. By the way, I'm hosting this week, The Daily Show. John got sick, so they gave me Monday also, which is fucking awesome. Thank you, Daily Show, for that. Yesterday's guest was Roxane Gay, a black woman, a feminist gun owner who wrote an essay about the Stand Your Ground law. Very interesting conversation as a white man. Very interesting to talk to her and to consider some of what she says. The Second Amendment wasn't written for black people, just white people. Stand Your Ground has been effective for non-blacks. Just type of shit that we as humans need to have a discussion on to further better and progress and think about different things. When my friends tell me that they own guns for self-defense or home protection, it's almost laughable because I know what their house looks like and I know the amount of land they have or the protections or the cops that they know. And Roxane Gay talks about in her essay about Stand Your Ground about a lot of people own guns in black and brown communities because they don't feel safe and because they don't think the cops are there to protect them. Interesting discussion, whatever you think. And that was yesterday's interview. Fun. Today was Ed Helms, much different from The Hangover, from The Office, former Daily Show correspondent. Tomorrow is Barbara McQuaid, whose book, Attack from Within, is about misinformation, disinformation, how authoritarian regimes use the warfare of information. Wednesday is a former Tennis Anyone guest, Hannah Berner, former tennis player at University of Wisconsin, who is going to join us at The Daily Show. So you think sometimes when you listen to this podcast that it doesn't connect to anywhere else. It does. We're everywhere. Congratulations to Novak Djokovic for winning gold medal. He was extraordinarily emotional. He hit this amazing... Let's see if we can hear it. Can we listen to it? Let's hear. He hit this huge forehand winner. And he puts his hands on his face. He's crying. Carlos Alcaraz is coming up to the net. He has a moment where he remembers Novak. I got to go congratulate my opponent. They do a big hug. They played a lot, these two. Novak keeps it together, does the hug, does the pat, shakes the umpire's hand, and then basically breaks down emotionally again. Hands on the face, knees to the ground. This is the French Open court. The Olympic rings are up, and he's weeping hands and knees on the court. I mean, it's amazing. I honestly was surprised. Does the cross of God. You got to thank God. I was surprised that he was as emotional. This is for a guy who's got this many Grand Slams. And I don't have a lot of time this week, but I just wanted to make sure we listened to his post-match press conference, something he said, because it really, really resonated with me. I thought it was beautiful. I showed everyone that would watch this. He has just won, and he's on an extremely high. And as you know, who've listened to my podcast before, I almost prefer to listen to the losers because that's really where the truth comes out. But he is so happy, Novak, that he just drops straight knowledge in a confident way. And it's beautiful. And let's take a listen. Here it is.
Probably is the biggest sporting success I've ever had in my career. I love this sport. I don't play it only to win the tournament. I play it because I really love competition. I love the drive every day, every week of training my body, perfecting my game, improving myself still at this age. This sport has given me so much in my life. I try to give back to the sport with dedication primarily, and the sacrifice that I put on the court every single day when nobody's watching. And I do it as hard as any young player out there on the world right now. I promise you that. I do it as hard and maybe even harder than anybody else. And so these kind of successes are not coincidences. They come as a result of incredible effort from my side and, of course, people who are around me. So yeah, I don't know about the future, to be honest. I really want to be in the present moment, celebrate, worked very hard, sacrificed a lot to be in this moment. It was a long journey, many, many years of dreaming to be holding the gold medal. So now it's about happiness, joy, and celebration.
Happiness, joy, celebration, incredible effort, sacrifices. I just really love hearing him talk. Probably said it's the greatest sports achievement he's ever had. I think it definitely behooves him that this was a 2 out of 3 set tournament. I think there's too much tennis on the calendar as is. I think Wimbledon, the French Open, the Australian Open, and the U.S. Open are enough tennis. I don't understand why we add the Olympics to it all. Tennis has done a nice job, one of the few things they've done a nice job of determining who the best players are quarterly and on different surfaces. But that being said, he is extremely thankful and gracious and in a weird way, feeling empowered. He's like a flame, an Olympic flame that was just given more oxygen the way he's talking right now. We've all kind of had that type of win where we feel, I get it after doing stand-up comedy, after a great set. I sometimes have it after the Daily Show, maybe a little bit have it right now, where you have such a good show, the audience is so with you that you feel accomplished and you say, let's keep going, let's do this. And yeah, he doesn't talk like this after winning slams. He's very happy, but this is a different level of happy. When he went up in the stands and hugged his daughter and his wife and his son, it's really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. And I'm glad this means so much to him because he got it. It doesn't mean that much to me, the Olympic tennis, but it clearly meant a lot to these players. And it's fun. I Googled what they make, and they all basically get paid by their Olympic team if they medal. But I don't know if there's a participation. I mean, there is no money for winning unless your Olympic team gives you money. U.S. athletes, I was looking at like Rajiv Ram made the finals, I think, of the Olympics. I think he's a silver medalist. By the way, excellent doubles player, University of Illinois, former player. I remember hosting him many times at Illinois. He came many times for visits and unofficial and official visits. I was always like, oh God, we have to entertain this guy again. Now he's gone. He's going to go down as one of the best doubles players America's ever had, and an excellent doubles player. So these players really do want to compete for their country. And you know what? I would too, if given the opportunity, but I wasn't. So that's sad, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fun week. It's only Tuesday. It's pouring rain here. I will be at the Rochester Comedy at the Carlson with Elle Orlando. She's a very funny comedian. She'll be opening for me this weekend in Rochester, New York. We got Portland. We got Seattle. A lot of other dates coming up. Thank you for watching The Daily Show. Thank you for tweeting out the clips. Thank you for following me. If you like this podcast, share it. This is done as a passion for tennis and sometimes just my own personal therapy. So I appreciate you listening. Today and this week is going to be shorter because of the I was going to do this podcast on Monday, but then Jon Stewart got sick, so they asked me to host. These are all good problems. These are all good problems. If you're watching this on YouTube, you are seeing behind me is a Wilson aluminum T2000. And this is in my office in the Daily Show. There is a fucking T2000. And I lost my baseball. Have you seen my baseball? I lost my baseball today somewhere in the studio. I like to have a baseball as I walk around like one of those jock idiots. But because I can't find my baseball, you know what that means? Tomorrow I'll be walking around with the T2000. Thank you for listening. This is the Tennis Anyone podcast. I'm Michael Kosta. Game, set, match. Kosta.